remember that. We got a phone call. I don't remember the day of the week. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, but we had a phone call. Our mom did, saying that we found a match and that they were on their way over right away. And I remember just, scared. I mean, you don't. Who's coming over? What? You're nervous. I don't remember much of the conversation. I just remember being scared. And then he says, let's go to McDonald's. So, okay. So we went to the McDonald's. It's torn down now. Go figure. It was one of the ones with the big arches that were around the building. It was on Missouri and East Bay Drive, and had a Big Mac, large order of fries, and a chocolate shake. After about a year, yeah, I just kind of knew it's just such a hit. You know what I'm saying? I had a different attitude towards him and Mary Lynn, of course. They became almost like surrogate parents, a separate set of parents, and you just understood and expected them. You just expected them to be there like you would your mom or your dad. It's just kind of neat that as time has gone on, I mean, my children consider them, Lonnie, Mary Lynn, their grandparents. They know the story, they know what it's about, but it's still not a Mary and Papa. So that's kind of neat. When you're absent a male figure, you tend to have be a little bit of a, how they say it, nice, a wimp, I guess. Wimpy, you cry a lot, because you're used to your mom. And play sports, I was afraid to play sports. I was afraid of trucks. I was afraid of boats, so she said, you need a man in your life, and so that's when she decided to enroll me. He was outdoorsy, so we got to do camping and some things that, hiking, stuff of that nature. I think I wanted to be like him. When you want to be like somebody, everything you watch, you study them, you watch their reactions. Still father son, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's my dad, And I just remember, my wife was pregnant with our first, and I was worried about being a dad. And I remember asking Lonnie, I said, hey, how did you get to be such a good dad? What did you do? What can you tell me? What advice? And he just said one thing. He says, I always tried just to include the kids into whatever it was I was doing.
I first met Lonnie, I was in junior high, he was in high school, and then we saw each other again, I guess it was probably the mid-70s, and he and his dad had just started a company, and he asked me if I wanted to come to work for him, and I thought that'd be kind of neat. Lonnie's always been good with, doing things for other people. Helping them out. He had, a lot of people don't know, they adopted a whole family. He brought them up. He had Kenny King was his little. I remember him from the very beginning going with Lonnie over to Kenny's mom's house to pick Kenny up to come over to the office on the weekend or something like that. I think one thing that Lonnie taught Kenny was respect. That respect in himself, respect for other people. As long as I've known him, he's always been a giver. He's demanding, wants you to do your best, wants you to see what you can be, and he helps you be that person.
Actually, I met Lonnie. I was a newly hired CEO, probably on the job just a few months, and Lonnie just came to the front door and asked to see me and sat down, and I think he was curious about me, and I never met him before. I didn't really understand his connection to the agency, but then after we spoke for an hour and I realized his 40-year connection to the agency as a board member, as a big. It didn't take me very long to understand that Lonnie had a lifetime connection, but he was what I would call an honorable man. Once a relationship between a big and a little goes beyond getting to know each other, developing a trust, having fun, and experiencing life together, it deepens to a more family-like relationship. And it doesn't happen that frequently that we can identify that a big and a little are still as close as they are after how many years? Almost 40 years. A lifetime now. And it will never end. I've heard Kenny say, or see them together. It's much more family-like, father, son, I've seen Mary Lynn with their grandchildren, which are Kenny's children. So it just goes directly to the heart of the matter, which is a family-like relationship.
He was very shy and somewhat insecure, and he was surrounded with two sisters and a mom, and didn't have a lot of male influence in his life. And he was somewhat scared of his own shadow. He was scared to go in my pickup truck. He was scared to go in my boat. And so over the years, we just tried to help him develop, and he couldn't have had a better mom than what he had. But she also saw a point that he needed support too, and so over the years that just developed into something really special. It was interesting. I was driving down US 19 and talking with Kenny and then telling him that we kind of decided to adopt 3 kids. And
he looked at us and said,
"Well, you're not going to be needing me
anymore."
So I said, "Yeah, we need all your help. We need to help
you
raise
gotta help us.
It's because of you we're adopting these kids, and you got to help, you know." So he fit right into the family and everything, and he's always been part of our family. Anything that we ever did in life, from a standpoint, we always try to involve Kenny, whether it was, working around the house, or going to the movies, or going out in the boat, or we just involved him in our day-to-day activities over the years. I've been involved with the agency for a lot of years now, and in fact, I'm a big brother again, so with 2 other 11 and 12-year-old boys, and so it probably affected me as much as it's affected the community, because it's something that I really enjoy doing. So if we can possibly make a better life for them, in the terms of how they see the world and everything, that's what it's all about. So. Well, we consider Kenny's kids our grandkids, and we would not have had them, which they're a joy. And we
it would have been dull and boring.
Plus, we have 4 other grandkids from our own kids, and so with the 9 grandkids, and with Kenny, I can still consider him my little brother, and with our 2 new little brothers, we have a full life.